This episode of Set to the Score is sponsored by Sky Sports. Stream Sky Sports flexibly on Now. What you want, when you want, no fuss. Go to nowtv.com to start streaming Sky Sports today. Hello and welcome to Settle the Score. My name is Harry Durham. Where do we begin this morning? I mean, I really want to give Leeds their flowers. Leeds 3, Liverpool 3. A well-deserved point for Leeds and Daniel Farke. Beat Chelsea in the week. Everyone should be talking about Leeds right now, but someone called, was it Mo Salah? Yeah, you ever heard of Mo Salah? Yeah, an absolute bombshell of an interview, which has just broken the internet. It's broken football. And I mean, I need some expert analysis off the back of this game and everything going on with just Mo Salah's future and career at Liverpool. Joining me this morning is Rocco Dean from Leeds That and Jamie Story from The Football Story. Jamie, do Liverpool need to take some major responsibilities for that? We're going to get into the Mohamed Salah saga towards the middle and the end because it's going to take up such a big chunk. The defending for all three goals, mate, head in hands, like watching it head in hands now, it was so poor from Liverpool.
Shambolic. I don't know what's going on right now. I think there's probably so many problems we could individually take a look at from Liverpool's perspective. And to be honest, when they were 2-0 up, they were in cruise control. Like they just needed to not make any mistakes. Take it the game, which they had done for most of the 70 minutes that they played, and then just see it out. Konate then goes flying into a tackle needlessly, which I think is becoming a regular occurrence with Konate at this stage. Like it's been the whole season now. He could potentially go on a free transfer to Real Madrid. He's played so poorly that they don't even want him now. That's how bad it's been. And yeah, and then obviously Leeds, they get their tails up, they go on, they get the second. Then you're thinking Liverpool get out of jail with the third, and then same again, poor defending. We can see from a set piece, 10 goals we've conceded from set pieces now, the most of any team in the Premier League, and more than we conceded all of last season. It's just beyond the joke at this stage, and I think we're running out of words to describe how bad it is at Liverpool.
He just kind of, Ibrahim Konate, that challenge on Willy Gnonto was so poor. You would even, if you saw a kid doing that at Sunday League levels, I mean, you'd tell him to never play the sport again because you never put a slide tackle in like that in a box. It's what you learn as a kid. And it sort of makes me think that if he goes to Real Madrid, I hope, and I feel sorry for Jonathan Woodgate, but I would like a Jonathan Woodgate Mark II on his debut. Rocco, first time on the show, pal. Leeds, mate. 4 points in your last 2 games, beating Chelsea, drawing to Liverpool. Are you sensing a bit of a run at the moment? Because a lot of people tip Leeds to go down, and it's these, big points, and you've got to beat the teams around you to stay up. But you must be feeling mighty good right now, no?
Yeah, definitely. I think this last week has settled everyone down a little bit. The fans, certainly. I think the players and management and the club themselves, I think, they deserve credit. They've been doing well enough this season. They set some goals at the start of the season. They wanted 1 point a game. They wanted to finish 16th. They wanted to be more dangerous on set pieces and capitalise on those. And they earmarked the home form as something that, needed to keep them up. And so far they're delivering on all 4. So, we've got to be pleased. Yeah, we went through a run of losing games, but, performances by and large were there. It's really the away form now that we need to sort out because, too many games we've gone down with a whimper away from home. We're not showing the same fight and bite as we do at home. But no, very, very happy. I mean, it's amazing to go to Ellen Road and to see a game like that on Saturday night against Liverpool. We've been starved of it. Basically my whole entire adult life has been in the EFL. So to, miss out on games like that is sad. So it's nice to be able to experience it. And yeah, it was a proper classic at Ellen Road.
That's the thing as well. The fight back was absolutely insane. The goal you scored against Chelsea at the same time as well. I mean, you are, it did not mean to sound like Chris Kamara. You're fighting like beavers at the moment. And, I love Leeds. I'm a Fulham fan, so that Goodmanson own goal. We had our top goal scorers were own goal goals is what I'm trying to say. It's a real big mouthful. So I'm very grateful for Leeds this season because obviously we picked up 3 points and that's quite hard for Fulham to do. Jamie, we're going to get on Salah in a minute. Where do you stand on Arne Slot at the moment? Because obviously, win the league last year. Has he got, Bennett? Has he got credit in the bank? Do you think he's going to see out the whole entire season? Because everything that's happened, in the summer with losing Diogo Jota, which has just rocked not only Liverpool but the entire footballing world. Do you feel like it'd be quite brash if the club were to get rid of Arne Slot, especially with everything internally and externally that's happened in the football club over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I think it would be brash. I don't expect Liverpool. It could definitely change, but I don't expect Liverpool. They're not really the type of club that sack managers in that way. So I wouldn't expect them to sack him anytime soon. I think they'll side with the manager more than anyone else, and that maybe alludes to my opinion on the next topic. But I think, there's a lot of different things going wrong at Liverpool right now. I think for the performances that we're seeing and individual players, if you look at individual players making silly mistakes during games, that's not on the manager. I think you need to look at the players more so than you would in the manager in that case. Like Kanate, like Liverpool, if they played better in the last few games, that's from the changes the manager has made, and that's with taking out Mohamed Salah. But Liverpool are 2-0 up, Kanate makes a mistake, Leeds get back into the game. That's from individual mistakes that are causing those issues. And I think to solely blame the manager for those types of things, I think is ridiculous. Yes, he's probably made some of his own mistakes, but Liverpool are a team with, they're kind of aging out some of the players that have been there a long time, and we're seeing how difficult that can be. And then maybe settling some of the players that we brought in, which hasn't been easy so far. But I do expect him to continue at Liverpool. But obviously, we need to see improvements. And that's by him getting more out of the players than he is now, which it seems to be very difficult for him to do.
Rocco, did you turn up on Saturday and think, do you know what, we can get something from this? And obviously, when the Liverpool goals started flowing, you probably thought, oh, this is, it's good to dream. But in the lead up to the game, did you really think you could put Liverpool under the cosh?
Yeah, I did think we'd put them under the cosh. Yeah, I mean, you're always wary. You look at the lineup, and to be honest, more so the bench. Actually, it was the bench that worried me the most. The players that they had to bring on. But yeah, I did feel like we would give them a good battle because we've been doing that all season. We've done that already against good teams. Newcastle was 0-0. Villa, we gave them a fantastic game. Narrowly lost that one. So I thought we would go again. Liverpool, obviously, in a bit of a brittle state at the moment. But yeah, when it goes to 2-0, you're thinking the game is completely done. And, Liverpool get a morale boosting win on their way back to normality, if you like. But yeah, I think once we got that goal, like granted we were gifted it, but I think the changes Farke made changed the game as well. We started, showing a bit more threat, and it was a good bit of interplay down the left-hand side. So, credit to Leeds as well. But then, yeah, the fans get involved, and you could see Liverpool were shaken. And at that point, I'm expecting the equaliser. But yeah, probably not expecting the second equaliser right at the end. That was, terrible defending. Good delivery, but yeah, it was shambolic.
So what are we, under 10 minutes in, should we finally address the elephant in the room? Jamie, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, God, here we go. Well, I mean, this sort of annoys me a little bit because it was such a big result for Leeds. I know 2 games off the back, beating Chelsea, then getting a point to Liverpool. And then, everything happens. There's a lot of people now, and if people have been living under a rock and haven't seen anything until Monday morning, Mohamed Salah spoke to a Norwegian broadcast, I think it was via Play, off the back of the draw at Ellen Road. He started on the bench, and he started the last 3 Premier League games on the bench, not featuring against West Ham and Leeds. Salah's had a poor start to the season, we all know that, and he had a new contract in the summer. I picked out some of the key quotes, and I mean, key quotes, there's about 10 of them, to be honest with you, because the whole entire interview was just nuts. So here are a few of them. This is Mohamed Salah. I said many times I had a good relationship with the manager. After the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. I'm sitting on the bench. I don't know why. It's very clear someone wants me to take all the blame. I feel like I'm being thrown under the bus. I'm very disappointed. I have done so much for this club. I don't think I'm the problem. I don't have to go every day fighting for my position because I've earned it. I'm not bigger than anyone, but I earned it. I called my mum and dad and told them to come to the final game. Doesn't matter if I play or not. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll be at Liverpool to say goodbye to the fans and go Africa Cup. I don't know what's going to happen when I'm there. It was just absolutely insane. Oh my God. Jamie, can you just sort of take us into your brain as soon as this dropped on Saturday evening? Because me being a neutral, I was absolutely dumbfounded. And, you know, hearing that off the back of one of the Liverpool's greatest ever players, please make it make sense.
I thought it was fake at first. I was like, there's no way a player comes out and talks to the media and says all those types of words directly after Liverpool draw, and like the pressure heaps straight back onto the football club, because that's just a player going completely rogue, completely nuclear against the football club. It's unheard of. And like, just some of the words there, I don't like. He's saying that he's not the problem. He scored one goal from one start in his last 11 games.
Yeah.
So why, like, he hasn't been performing. That's why you're not playing. That's why you've been dropped. That's why you've been put on the bench. And to come out and not take any responsibility from that perspective, to say that I've met this club a long time and I deserve to be playing. You deserve to be playing all those games because you've been performing. That's what it boils down to. If you're not performing at a big club, it doesn't matter whether you're Steven Gerrard, Kenny Dalglish, Mohamed Salah, you do not play. But on the opposite of that, you do not come out and criticize the club in the way that he's done. And I think it's put more pressure onto a team that are really struggling. And it's taken so much, like, as you said, Leeds played really well and the game was a brilliant game. And all we're talking about now is Mohamed Salah and all the stuff that's going to go on. And now he's going to go off to the African Cup of Nations and leave Liverpool in it and trying to solve it without him. And he's not going to be able to do anything to obviously to help Liverpool in that situation. And we're going to be talking about this for the next month now in terms of what's going to happen with Mohamed Salah up until he either comes back or he leaves. I'm of the player that, like, I'm of a fan that no player is bigger than Liverpool. And it doesn't matter what you've done for the club in the past. Yes, you have to respect the players. And I think that comes, and you should give them the send-off that they desire. But, like, at the end of the day, the reason he's not playing now is because he's not been playing good enough. And that's what it boils down to. And for him to take zero responsibility of that, I think it shows a player of ego, a player that's upset, yes. But at the end of the day, you have to come on. You have to take responsibility for the performances you're putting in. And he's not doing that. And I'm disappointed in him for not being able to admit to that.
Rocco, what was your reaction off the back of the game and seeing that? Obviously, I imagine you guys were celebrating. Picked up a well-deserved point off the back of the week that you just had. And, you know, everyone sort of forgets about the performance that Leeds put in because Mo Salah, who didn't even play, steals all the headlines.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I mean, what can you say? Like, it is unprecedented. I mean, to hear comments like that is mind blowing. You know, even for a neutral or an opposition fan. So yeah, absolutely no surprises. And you know what? I'm not that bothered. I'm happy for Leeds to, you know, if they're going to slide under the radar somewhat, then all the better. You know, I don't care. You know, when we beat Chelsea, obviously the story isn't that Leeds won. It's the story is that, you know, Chelsea lost, and that's the way it is. So no problem with that. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. Hopefully our best players like Ampadu and Tanaka will just, you know, go calmly along. No January incidents to talk about, and hopefully we might just be all right.
Jamie, see us into this morning then, mate. The big question is, obviously you mentioned about it's going to be the big story over the next month, 6 weeks. Obviously he's going to the African Cup of Nations. Do you really think that Liverpool would sell? And do you want him gone, Jamie? Give me an answer.
You're putting me on the spot.
I have to put you on the spot.
You're settling the score. I'm debating it right now. I think he deserves the send off. Like, I don't think you can take away all the memories that he's given me. I have a photo up on my wall of Mohamed Salah. That's how much I appreciate everything that he's done for Liverpool Football Club. And if Brighton is going to be his last game at Anfield,
how old are you, by the way, to put a picture of Mohamed?
30.
Not 13.
No, not 13. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? He makes you do silly things. It makes you a man that makes you do silly things.
We've all been there.
Yeah. But I think he does deserve the send off. I hope it's not in this way, because I don't like. I'd rather see it until the end of the season, and hopefully that's the way it go. If Liverpool feel like they need to sell him in January, and that's what the decision that they make, then fair enough. But it will be such a travesty for a player that is arguably Liverpool's best ever player. Like, in terms of the numbers that he's put up, the obviously the things that he's brought. Obviously in my lifetime, I didn't get to see the likes of, say, Dalglish, Rush, that team, that super team that we've seen. But especially in Premier League era, he's undoubtedly up there with the likes of Gerrard, Van Dijk, all them players. And if it did end like this, it would be devastating, not only for Salah, but for Liverpool fans, because I think they want to give him the send-off that he deserves. But will the club do it? I think they'll side with the manager. I think when you start to side with players, you give players an awful lot of power. Players in today's age, they do have the right to make the decisions that they want to do 100%. And I think players should have that right, similar to what with Trent with Real Madrid. Canate with Real Madrid, if he ends up going there, they have the power to be able to do what they want to do. In this situation, I think Salah is probably limited in the power that he has. So I think Liverpool are probably more in a position of power to decide what they want to do. And I think when you start to lean into players and get, like, say, stick with them, then it creates a very difficult dynamic, because then who's going to be the next Mohamed Salah to start to maybe flaunt their muscles to say, I want this, I want this. So I think Liverpool will end up siding with Arne Slot, and they will side with Liverpool. And if that means that they have to sell Salah in January, I think they'll do it for the betterment of the club. And I don't think that I want that to happen in the way that it does. So that's what I think will happen.
Well, Liverpool, of course, in Champions League action this week as well, ladies and gents, heading into Milan and the classic San Siro. It's going to be interesting if he's even going to be there. And just to bring context about Mohamed Salah, which I called my mum and dad to come to my final game. His final game before AFCON will be Liverpool versus Brighton on the 13th. So what's that? This Saturday coming up. Rocco, Jamie, I appreciate it so much this morning, lads. Thank you for coming on. Rocco, you absolutely smashed it, mate. I just, hope between now and the end of the season, we don't have to speak about the petulance of Mohamed Salah, and we can actually give Leeds the flowers that they deserve. Jamie, thinking of you, mate. You're a good pal of mine, and you know what? During this period, I'm praying for you every night. You're in my thoughts because you're a smashing bloke. I'm just sad that you have to go through this.
Yeah, I'll be taking a Mohamed Salah poster down soon. The way things are
going. Appreciate it, lads. Thank you.
Thank you.
This episode of Set to the Score is sponsored by Sky Sports. Stream Sky Sports flexibly on Now. What you want, when you want, no fuss. Go to nowtv.com to start streaming Sky Sports today.